Every viral video about Japan is filmed in almost the exact same few neighborhoods of Tokyo. Shibuya, Shinjuku, Akihabara. The videos are always the same. Robot cafes where mechanical arms serve coffee. Automated train gates opening with surgical precision. Vending machines glowing on every corner. Convenience stores that somehow sell everything from hot meals to concert tickets. And after watching enough of these videos, you start believing something. Japan is the future. The entire country must be one giant cyberpunk paradise. Except, that's not true. Because if you board a local train and travel just a few hours into Japan's fading countryside, you step into what feels like an entirely different nation. A place where the famous Japanese genius inventions are broken down, shut down, rusted out, or simply never existed in the first place. The future arrived in Tokyo, but outside Tokyo, time seems to have slowed to a quiet, melancholic crawl. And once you see this other Japan, you'll never look at those viral videos the same way again. 1. The cashless paradise suddenly disappears. Tokyo feels almost magical. You can buy coffee with your phone, pay your train fare by tapping a card, purchase food from a vending machine without touching cash. Everything seems frictionless. The entire city operates like one giant operating system. Then you arrive in rural Japan, and suddenly, the bus driver asks for exact change, not a card, not Apple Pay, coins. Some restaurants hand you paper receipts. Tiny family-run shops have cash boxes beside the register. Some don't even accept credit cards. Why? Because much of rural Japan is old. Very old. Many residents are elderly and prefer physical money. Small businesses have fewer customers and little incentive to install expensive digital systems, and lower transaction volumes make technology upgrades difficult to justify. So, while Japan's national cashless transactions have increased dramatically in recent years, the countryside often remains stubbornly analog. The futuristic digital utopia celebrated on YouTube? It exists, but mostly inside Japan's big cities. Outside them, coins still rule. 2. The legendary vending machines start dying. Japan's vending machines are world famous. They sell coffee, ice cream, umbrellas, batteries, sometimes even fresh eggs. Videos portray them as symbols of ultimate convenience, and in Tokyo that's largely true. But drive through parts of rural Japan and you notice something strange. Machines standing alone beside empty roads, their paint faded, their displays dark, dust collecting inside. Some are unplugged. Others have been removed entirely. Because vending machines need people. Lots of people. And people are disappearing. Many rural prefectures have been losing population for decades. Young residents leave for university and jobs in big cities. Few return. Entire communities are shrinking. Maintenance costs remain. Electricity costs remain. Repair costs remain. Customers don't. And eventually, one of Japan's most iconic inventions can no longer survive. What shines under Tokyo's neon lights slowly rusts beside forgotten roads. 3. Capsule hotels make no sense here. To foreigners, capsule hotels are peak Japan. Tiny sleeping pods, stacked compartments, futuristic minimalism, everything feels optimized. But then you leave Tokyo and they practically disappear. Because capsule hotels were created to solve a specifically urban problem. Millions of commuters, tiny apartments, people missing the last train home, space shortages. The countryside has the opposite problem. Too much space and not enough people. Instead of capsule hotels, rural Japan has something entirely different. Empty houses, millions of them, known as akiya, abandoned homes. Some estimates put the number at more than 9 million vacant houses across the country. Imagine that. One part of Japan builds tiny sleeping pods because space is expensive. Another part has entire neighborhoods with nobody living in them. The contrast is almost surreal. The famous capsule lifestyle simply doesn't exist where homes and empty streets grow quieter every year. 4. The bullet train doesn't connect most of Japan. The Shinkansen is legendary. The bullet train represents everything people admire about Japan. Speed, precision, reliability. It feels like a transportation system from the future. And yet, much of rural Japan rarely experiences it. The famous Shinkansen network primarily connects major population centers: Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, Nagoya. Beyond these corridors, another reality emerges. Small local stations, old trains, long waiting times. Some lines have already closed, others operate with very limited schedules. In certain areas, buses replaced trains because passenger numbers collapsed. For elderly residents without cars, transportation can become difficult and isolating. The image of Japan as one giant high-speed railway system is misleading. The bullet train belongs to Japan's urban spine. Large sections of the countryside remain dependent on slow transportation systems that feel decades removed from Tokyo's futuristic image. 5. Government offices still live in another era. People imagine Japanese offices filled with advanced technology. Paperless systems, artificial intelligence, automation. The reality can be surprisingly different, especially outside major cities. In many municipal offices, paperwork remains king. Physical forms, printed documents, filing cabinets, and one uniquely Japanese object still survives: the hanko, a personal stamp used instead of signatures. Need approval? Stamp it. Need verification? Stamp it. Need another form? Stamp it again. Many offices still rely heavily on physical documents and fax machines. Some local schools and administrative departments continue using technologies that much of the world abandoned years ago. Why? Because older generations trust familiar systems. They know paper, they know stamps, they know face-to-face interactions. Technology adoption moves slowly when the people managing institutions grew up in a completely different era. The future looks different when viewed through the eyes of a 75-year-old administrator. 6. The robot revolution never reached most villages. The internet loves Japanese robots. Robot waiters, robot hotels, AI assistants, automated demonstrations. These machines make Japan appear like a science fiction movie. Yet many rural communities desperately need automation and still don't have it. Why? Because robots are expensive. Small businesses struggle financially. Family farms operate on narrow margins. Aging populations mean fewer workers and lower tax revenues. The irony is painful. The places that need technological assistance the most often have the least access to it. Many farms still rely heavily on traditional methods. Family businesses continue operating manually. Labor shortages grow worse every year. The robots shown on YouTube exist, but for much of rural Japan, they're more fantasy than reality. 7. Convenience stores become inconvenient. Konbini are legendary. Convenience stores in Japan are almost cultural institutions. Need food? Done. Pay bills? Done. Withdraw money? Done. Buy concert tickets? Done. They operate 24 hours and seem capable of solving almost every daily problem, until you reach the countryside. These stores become fewer. Some close earlier, others disappear completely, because convenience depends on population density. A store cannot survive without customers. As populations decline, businesses shut their doors. And when convenience stores disappear, entire communities lose important services. For elderly residents, this can become a serious challenge. Something as simple as buying groceries suddenly requires a long drive. The ultimate convenience system starts breaking apart once population numbers fall below a certain point. 8. The internet suddenly slows down. Tokyo enjoys some of the fastest internet infrastructure in the world. Remote work is easy, streaming is effortless, businesses thrive online. But digital infrastructure isn't evenly distributed. Some rural regions still struggle with slower connections and limited broadband access. For young people considering where to build their future, connectivity matters, jobs matter, opportunities matter, and increasingly, these things concentrate inside cities. The result becomes a vicious cycle. Young people leave, the population shrinks, investment declines, services worsen, more people leave. Technology doesn't merely reflect the divide, it deepens it. 9. Public transportation feels like another country. In Tokyo, missing one train barely matters. Another arrives in minutes. Everything runs with astonishing precision. Then you travel to rural Japan. A bus may come once every hour, maybe every few hours. A train line may have only a handful of daily services. Some routes continue shrinking. Others disappear entirely. Abandoned stations and overgrown platforms exist across the countryside. For elderly residents who can no longer drive, this creates isolation. A doctor's appointment, shopping, visiting friends, simple activities suddenly become difficult. The world's transportation masterpiece exists, but only in certain places. 10. Smart cities become analog time capsules. Tokyo receives enormous investment. Smart city projects, sensor technologies, Olympic infrastructure, advanced urban planning. It serves as Japan's global storefront, the place the world sees. The countryside operates under completely different conditions. Some municipal offices still use chalkboards, manual ledgers, paper records, physical stamps. Local governments often struggle simply to maintain existing infrastructure. There isn't enough money. There aren't enough workers. There aren't enough young residents. Billions flow toward showcasing Japan's future. Rural communities are often fighting to preserve their present. 11. The abandoned tourism dream. Japan once experienced an enormous economic boom. Hotels were built everywhere, tourist facilities expanded, hot spring resorts flourished. Then populations changed, tourism patterns changed, entire regions declined. Today, abandoned hotels stand like monuments to forgotten dreams. Empty buildings, broken windows, silent corridors. Some former resort towns feel almost post-apocalyptic. The futuristic image of Japanese hospitality suddenly gives way to eerie reminders that economic growth isn't permanent. Buildings built for millions of visitors now wait for guests who may never return. 12. The instant everything lifestyle ends. Tokyo offers almost immediate solutions to every need. Food delivery, convenience stores, late-night meals, 24-hour services. The countryside often works differently. Some supermarkets have closed. Certain communities rely on infrequent markets. Residents travel long distances to buy necessities. Home gardens remain important. Neighbors share produce. Life moves slower. There's less convenience, but perhaps also more community. The hyper-efficient urban ecosystem requires massive populations. Without them, the system simply cannot function. 13. The biggest myth: that all of Japan is high-tech. This may be the biggest misunderstanding about Japan. The country exports images of innovation, Walkmans, bullet trains, robots, emojis, automation. The world assumes every corner of Japan looks futuristic, but rural life reveals another truth. Paper receipts, cash payments, physical stamps, traditional routines, generational resistance to rapid technological change. The famous inventions still exist, but their influence weakens dramatically once you leave major cities. Because technology doesn't spread evenly. It follows people, it follows money, and increasingly in Japan, both are concentrated inside a handful of urban centers. The two Japans. Perhaps the most fascinating thing about Japan isn't its technology, it's the existence of two entirely different Japans. One is optimized, efficient, and endlessly photographed. The Japan of neon lights, robots, and viral videos. The other is quiet, older, slower. A Japan of abandoned houses, shrinking villages, and empty schools. More than 9 million homes now sit vacant across the country. Hundreds of schools close over time. Entire communities wonder whether they can survive another generation. Yet this countryside isn't a failure, it's something else, a preview, a glimpse into what many aging societies may eventually experience. Because Japan's rural struggle isn't uniquely Japanese, it simply arrived there first. The future is here. It's just not evenly distributed. And while Tokyo races deeper into the digital age, another reality exists beyond the city limits. A place where wind blows through empty streets, where old vending machines gather dust, where forgotten homes wait quietly for new owners, where time moves differently. And perhaps that's the real Japan YouTube won't show you. Not because it's ugly, but because it's complicated. Because behind every robot cafe and bullet train is another story. A story of adaptation, loss, endurance, and a country learning how to grow old. And here's the truly surprising part. Even Tokyo, the futuristic city everyone admires, is still shockingly behind the Western world in certain everyday systems. Some of the things Japan still uses would seem completely outdated in Europe or North America. And once you discover them, you'll never call Japan the future quite so quickly.